Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Gregory, and this is Accounting 667 Advanced Audit. And we're going to go over the topic 6 assignment, which is a financial statement fraud case. So in this assignment, I want you to select a financial statement fraud related to a publicly traded company. And it must have involved senior management positions in the company. And you may use the internet to research and find a fraud example. So you're going to write a research paper on the topic and include headers within the topic. Now, even though it says 1500 to 1750, regardless of that, make sure that your work is complete and well supported. Now, you might take a look at the sec.gov website, which might be a good place to look for financial statement fraud of a publicly traded company, because the SEC is the ones that will go out and investigate and find firms in violation of that. So if you use the SEC, it may be a very short report by the SEC. So you're going to have to use other media sources, news about that company, in order to fill in any of the gaps. Here is what I'm looking for as far as the headers and the suggested, not required, but suggested length of each section. So we want a good introduction, a brief background of the case. Don't spend so much on the background of the case that we miss some of the information that is listed further on in the case. So just a brief background. You then want to identify the 5 classifications of financial statement fraud within your text, explain them, 3 to 4 paragraphs, and then identify after that which fraud is this case classified as and why. How could this fraud have been overstated or understated by senior management? Be very specific with this. This may come from the case. That's why you don't want to put too much in the background of the case, because you're going to address certain portions of that case further in. Then I want you to put your auditor, forensic investigator cap on and identify how might the company have deterred this through 3 different internal controls. So you'll have 3 paragraphs, 1 for each internal control. So identify the internal control that you as an auditor might suggest to the company to deter management from doing this in the future, and why. How and why. Now, the impacts on the stakeholders, because this is a publicly traded company, this type of fraud is going to impact stakeholders. So how did it? 1 for an internal stakeholder and 1 for an external stakeholder. Now, what you might want to do in the external stakeholders is look at some financial sites such as Morningstar, Reuters, Bloomberg, and look at that time period and what happened to the stock value during that time period. That stock value might have gone down, or because of the audit, it might have gone back up. Then identify 1 internal stakeholder, shareholder, and tell us how it would have affected that stakeholder. Finally, give me a 1 paragraph conclusion and include on a separate page your references. Now, you're going to have to provide evidence in support of your responses to the case study by applying the course concepts, and look at the PowerPoint Forensic Accounting online investigative tools. That might help you. You're going to use a minimum of 3 academic peer-reviewed industry sources. Now, if you choose to use more than 3, anything above 3 can be your textbook. Otherwise, if you're only going to use 3, you use academic peer review industry sources. I don't want to see blogs. I don't want to see accounting firms unless it's a KPMG, Price Waterhouse Coopers, large firm. I don't want to see companies that are selling software and telling you how they would do auditing or internal controls. So peer-reviewed academic industry sources. Give me a cover sheet and a reference page. See the rubric for your grading guidance, because I use the rubric to grade you. And finally, provide solid academic writing through Lopes Write. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Post to class questions for the good of the class. You can post a message in Halo, or you can reach out and schedule an appointment with me through Calendly. Good luck. If you have any questions on the company or any of the areas, please reach out to me before the due date, and I'm more than happy to help you out. I'll see you in the classroom.